Now it's Monday, it's day 497, and this morning I got up and I was studying about the economy. It's a Monday, a day of the past. So Izzy was talking to me yesterday about elevator talk and how you have to look the part. So I sort of look like Monday. I have my jeans on today and I don't have my hat. I sort of play to the consciousness of others by the way I look, and I can sort of get rhythms going with that. And I don't know if a lot of people know how to do that, and I'm not gonna crash here in the car trying to save a little bit of time and film at the same time. But I went into the theory of economy this morning. The man axiom is the action, basically everything from the economy stems. And watching MSNBC and learning about, or CNBC, whatever one it is, about the stock market. And there's these big yellow motor vehicles running around today. And it's early Virgo, and it's sort of like, oh no, it's back to school time for all the people. But I'm a big kid now. I don't have to ride the yellow school buses. What was I talking about? Yes, basically everything stems from an economic standpoint, from an action that man takes. And he always goes off of his highest motivation for everything that he does. Look at this coming here. It's a big yellow school bus. Crazy what happens. I have to learn how to get around the corners without making this move any. It's like we're riding on the magic school bus today, only the magic Ford Taurus. And it's day 497, 3 days left in this explosion that's going on. So, it was really neat how we break down economics into, first we have to have the land, and these are the factors of production. And I think everything connects to everything in a certain way. So when I'm learning, Izzy told me I need to learn this vocabulary, this elevator talk. I need to know the lingo and the language that everything puts in. Okay, everything is a means, a strategy to reach an end. We are scarce individuals. We have certain needs that we have to have at certain times, like a sandwich. But you see, we have this man action. What we do to, first it starts as a desire within us that we need to have a sandwich. Oh, there's a kid getting off of the school bus. And we have this desire, but there is this production that has to take place, and that there's many steps to it. Like we say, I want a sandwich. And the example I looked at gave a turkey sandwich. Now the kids won't be coming into Walmart anymore on my cart shift. You have to go to the refrigerator and get out piece of turkey, piece of bologna. So that's a step deeper, and it goes to keep looking at which steps are deeper. But really, it goes back to farming. You have to work the land, the labor, and then we have, speaking in their vocabulary terms of an economicist, the capital goods, like the rakes to hoe the field, and the house and the equipment. And then you also have to have the fourth factor of economy is entrepreneurship. And that's sort of what I'm, sort of the basis of what I'm naming today off of, because I'm trying to learn on day 497 entrepreneurshit. And I want to know how to do all this, because it goes back to mapping the world and looking at a field. And ideas you have that are means to an end. I think there's a mathematical system to achieving that ends with unknown starting points, or infinite starting points. Like either road I drive down, I might get an idea that makes the means to an end, like 67 steps or maybe the other way would be 72 steps to get there. But any and all situations lead to every and all situations. So I found the White House YouTube account, and it's really neat. I sat down and watched some of Barack Obama's videos, and it's really current. You get up to 2 hours ago and you see Barack Obama talking about the flooding in Vermont from Hurricane Irene. And, you know, watching CNBC, I'm watching these stocks go up and down. It's living in the now, seeing current. And what you learn from that is, from false perceptions of the past, Barack Obama is a real person. He's not a reptile. There are times in my past where I thought, you know, we're all working against each other. And, you know, I think everybody really, I don't think, is doing anything in a personal way that they're not actually trying to solve the problem. Even if they are trying to destroy the world, they're only trying to help out. So when we think these Illuminati people are up there, they all know the bar exam, they all have their friends who they cut in special deals with all the politics that they do. There might be some truth to that, but it's not without them actually trying. I mean, I think Barack Obama really, when he says pray for the people of Libya, how they have, I don't know his name, the tyrant ruler over the country that is oppressing his civilians. He says pray for those people. I'm sure he really has a higher desire, a man action, more than just looking for money and looking for success. Because I think in our labors and in our contributions is a higher portion of this action. And I don't know how much time I'm going to have on here. But I want to put it into a perspective of the planets. When we say, see, and this is where people go off with me, is we have the time continuum. And there's really, for signs and seasons, great math written in the sky, but it circulates. So we have to know the seasons of certain cycles. And I think people are blind to that when they're just looking on the margin of maybe a year or two. So when we say, what's your man action? I'm looking to get to the deepest planet. I'm looking to go to Pluto. And if you know the archetypical nature of all the planets, Mercury, it starts out thinking, I want to have the highest mind. Venus, I want to have the highest values. Mars, I have action. I'm action and goal oriented. Jupiter, I'm looking for something deeper, some kind of meaning to my life. Saturn, and the way these planets are ordered is the way we see our restrictions. We see the poverty, we see the scarcity in life. And when we can get past the blame of Saturn, and it's written into the timeline of life that only since the 16th, 17th century did we start discovering that there were planets beyond Saturn with our capital, our way, now that we have these telescopes and stuff, that we can look into deep space and gain understandings. So once you get past Saturn, you get to Uranus, when you see life is one of choices. You have to get over, you have to jump John Calvin. You have to say that we do have free will. And when we think, okay, if everybody's always going for their highest desire, then that would mean that there is no free will panned out. But that's thinking of desire as on a linear line, like as we know the timeline. But there's circular forces. and we can choose from different planets, I'm going to use the word, at different times. So we're like, okay, everybody pretty much under the Michelle Bachmann Tea Party part, not the Ron Paul starting, but the people who basically took over it. They are in this state of blame. We want a president who can get past Saturn and go to Uranus. I haven't known much about Barack Obama, but I'm going to start to follow him and just gain some insight. I think he's further than Saturn. So Uranus is where we make choices. Neptune is where we see that the choices outside of us are also the choices inside of us. And Pluto, well, first we have to get past Chiron, healing our wounds as such. And there are certain asteroids and certain things in the sky. We are astronauts flying through space. And we start at the sun, and we're seeing how deep we can go into the solar system. But revelations are occurring as we get further out. The Uranus, it's all been our choice from day one. Neptune, that what's going on the outside world is actually going on the inside world. And then Pluto is an understanding of creation. And I think I'm close. And this is how I'm going to simulate how smart people are, is to use that linear line as if we're going through the planets. And I think I'm getting closer to Pluto because of all the chironic events going on in my life. Pluto is where you see, and you don't just say through all semantics, you have certain ways of visualizing and stuff, that big truck goes by, still cleaning up from Irene, that there is one creative force and one motivation in every and all people. And we know Uranus is about the transcendence of other people controlling my destiny, where you totally black out of that. People worship Saturn. People fall down and bow at Saturn's feet, and Uranus comes, and Uranus is paradoxical. He's with the right idea, but he's looked at as a bad guy because no one wants to be an astronaut. Nobody wants to get past Saturn, those big intimidating rings, and they see Uranus with its ring on the weird side, and it's like, oh, what's his name? David Bowie, Turn and Face the Strange. What is that weird robin egg blue planet out there beyond Uranus, many, many miles away? And then with Neptune, it's a connection that I am not only the visionary, I'm not only what's inside of me, I am the plot and the scene and the story all at the same time. And to understand Pluto, I think, is to understand all things. Unless after Pluto, they're deeper into space, there is another planet, maybe Nibiru, as the Sumerians called it. And I think it had something to do with that 2012 energy. See, when we say things and we put patterns on them, we're working with the psychology of people. And as we get deeper into the outer planets from the personal planets, we're getting off of the scene and behind the scenes into like an earthquake of each person. What is who they are at the deepest level. So we are space travelers, and you know, there's a lot of galaxies out there.